Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Starting a bit later today. Also, new microphone. So, let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if the music is too loud. Let me know if I am too quiet. Also, I don't wear any headset, so the music is coming out from my speakers. This is a dynamic microphone though, so it shouldn't pick it up. Let me know if it bleeds into the microphone. Don't forget to like the stream so that more people stumble on it. I don't think that I'm going to stream 2 hours today. Starting super late, had a crazy day at work. Running the typical updates in the beginning. So, yeah. Also, I added a new thingy at the end of my update. You're gonna see it in a second. It's nothing super fancy, but you know, I like colors, so I like it. Interesting. That button doesn't mute my microphone anymore. I need to double check that. Let me actually well, we can already start the thingy, and while it starts, let me go and check on that thing. So while it does all of that, you can keep looking at me, asking questions and whatnot. Oh, hey man. Yeah, it's fun though, right? What's up, Python man? Are you the one who just became one of my patrons? I really need to fix that thing. Hold on. That one. Why? This one. And this one. Yes. And that one. And there we go. And there we go. Okay, so they should work now. And you hear me again. Cool. And let me just double check that one. Yep. And that one. Yeah, I don't know how this happened. There we go. Alright, let's see. Like that. And like that. Yep, cool. Alright. Alright, it's all fixed. So we are back. Let me know if you actually hear me. Because again, like new microphone and everything, and yeah. Also, let's bring back the keyboard. I think I like the keyboard, so there. Yeah, so for the curious, this is an app called Figlet, and you can give it some stuff like dev inside you, and I'm piping it to lolcat, and ta-da, dev inside you. Right? So you can do whatever you want. Scala is awesome. Right, so by default it's like this, and piping it to lolcat it's like that. And I recently started, well, not recently, it's been a while, started using Nix, so you can very easily try things out with Nix, you know, by just doing like Nix shell, and you say, well, please put a tool in there, for example, this tool, and sort of like feels kind of like Docker, right? And after this you can kind of run the tool, and in this case it's actually called exactly the same way. I should have had it cached. I don't know why it's downloading it now, but whatever. And there you go. So this is an ASCII aquarium. Let me disable the keyboard. There we go. All right, so now it's sort of like with Corsair, you know, you don't have it globally installed, it's just like cached. So if I were to like kill it and if I were to just run like ASCII aquarium, it would tell me that, you know, that I don't have it, right? Well, actually I do have it, which is why I was surprised why it actually cached something, because I have it over here. I actually have it installed, right? But let's say I didn't have it. ASCII aquarium like this, right? So again, like in the Nix shell, like it would run, but then outside of it wouldn't, because I don't have it like globally installed. Okay, but I actually kind of want to have it installed, so there we go. Now it's global. Anyway, distracting. It's a bit muffled, especially compared to the vaporware music. Define muffled, so like too bassy, or maybe it's just me today. Maybe I should just drink more water. I just kind of got tired of, like, you know, the wires and everything. It's super weird to like sit with wires and stuff. And about the music, we can change it. Let's see what we have. Let's take. I really like this indie pop one, so let's go with this one. It doesn't bleed into the microphone though, right? It's a bit low on volume. We can fix this a little bit. Hold up. How about now? Is it better? I think we might even give it like one more like this. Okay, is it better like this? I think we should be good now. Let me this one replace. Yes. I hope that we're not gonna clip. Yeah, we shouldn't be able to. Yeah, should be fine. All right. Let's see what we wanted to actually do today. Like, if I remember correctly, we were actually almost done with this thing. We were doing the checkout, and I think we even did the I can increase it even more if it's really an issue. Check out DI. So I believe we did check out DI. Yeah, so we did. We just need to provide all of these things. We're done. We already have Postgres. We already have, we don't have config. We don't have client. Probably we're not even going to need the config. I don't remember why we need it. This is why I have the here. So probably, yeah, like, why do we need a config? For the URL. Okay, so we do need the config. Yeah, makes sense. We have the boundary, which is going to make our DI a little bit interesting, because over here in the program we have like this list, and they don't have any dependencies between them, right? So it will become a little bit more ugly because now we'll have to take like one of the dependencies out. Okay, but we're gonna get to this. So here. So I believe we have. No, we don't have that. Okay. So I'm a bit bothered by the fact that we need the config here. It's like we don't need the config for this, right? For Postgres, we don't need the config for this. Like, why do we all of a sudden need it for this, right? Like, why isn't the URL built into, right? I don't remember how the HTTP4S client works, but let's go construct the URL, blah blah, map URI client run, and we give it a post with the payment and the URI. All right. So how does this client look like? Just as a run, you just give it a request. Okay. All right, so let's start with a payment config. Okay. So if you were to go to like in the very beginning, we're doing this, like we're loading the element, and then we go to the resource loader and we'll load, and over here we're doing like the Redis loading and the Postgres session loader, and now we're gonna have the client, should we call it HTTP client? Let's call it HTTP client loader then load. Okay, and this one will also need the app environment. And resources is going to have HTTP client, and I don't know the type yet. So, well, actually I kind of do know the type, right? So the type is, well, it's that thing, right? So just like that. Okay, so this is going to be the client, like this. So gonna need an import. There we go. This one, correct. And there we go. Organize the imports. Come on. Well, so this is the VS Code terminal, right? But for now, like so this one is Alacrity. I'm using like I would prefer to use the Windows terminal. So I'm on Windows. I get shit all the time for using Windows, but I'm very constrained because I'm not only a programmer, I'm also a content creator. Like I have a bunch of things on my table right now that just don't have drivers for like Linux. Some of them like don't even have drivers for Mac. So I have to use Windows. And on Windows, you pretty much have like the Windows terminal or Alacrity. These are like the two best. And I have issues with both of them. For example, Alacrity doesn't have ligatures. And with the Windows terminal, I have an issue because like when I run tmux, it often doesn't clear the screen properly, and I have to press like F5 to like reload it. And it has been like this since I made those videos about WSL, and they still haven't fixed it. Like there were a couple of releases where they were like, yeah, we fixed it, and there's like a software rendering mode, and like there's even a mode that they would like refresh the entire thing after every command, and even that doesn't fix it. And I really don't know what it is. I hope it's not something with my config. So okay, so it's kind of organized imports because in the same project we have an issue. Okay, over here. So obviously we don't have the HTTP client loader, so we're gonna go to, I don't know, this one for example. Okay, and we're just gonna copy the whole file, and we're gonna call it like HTTP client loader, something like this. Okay, so I'm just gonna be HTTP client like this. We're gonna save the file, and like once it loads, it's gonna give us, I think it's better if it gives us the f of client of f, and this is an HTTP for us client, and so we're gonna do like this, and it's gonna go away, and this stuff for now is also gonna, just want to make this compile so that like this thing compiles. I copied, I should have copied because it takes the app environment. Okay, so let's grab this one, and let's go here, and go here, and like that. Yeah, that's the thing, like there's no version of Kitty for Windows, and therefore like the only way to run Kitty would be on like Windows 11 or something that can run a GUI, and then run it like inside of. And I heard that it starts like like it takes like a minute to start. And I'm not like huge on like everything like on needing everything to be open source, but Kitty's not open source, so it's not like, I don't know. I would prefer it to be open source. I don't need it to be open source. Like, I'm on Windows, so what the heck. But yeah, maybe one day I'll check it out. But it feels weird, right? Like I'm on Windows. I would start WSL. I would start Kitty inside of the WSL just so that I can have a console to connect to WSL. Like, I would much rather have them, fix the Windows terminal, which is probably not happening. All right. Okay, this one loads an app of session pool of app. This one, what? Okay, so what? It doesn't compile? It should compile. HTTP client loader. No, this is probably some like weird metals not clearing things, right? Did like the organize import like mess something up? Because we cannot do part tupled anymore because. No, we can. We should be able to. Redis Postgres HTTP. Redis Postgres HTTP. I don't get it. Okay, hold on. This one gives an F of a resource. Oh, okay. We need to give it a resource. Okay, I get it. This needs to be a resource of client of and I believe resource also needs the F, right? Yeah. Okay. There you go. Everybody's happy. All right. It's time to steal the actual implementation. I believe it's called main. Oh, there we go. Okay, so we're doing like a similar thing here. Source make, blah, blah, blah. By the way, we end up not needing this eval map thing. I think. Maybe we did. I don't remember. Anyhow. Yeah, so it's a similar. Look, this one is not a resource. This one is not. Oh no, it's correct. It's exactly like our thing. Our Postgres is not a thing, right? Hold on. Oh no, it is. Okay, so this is the same thing. And I still don't know why this pattern is used over here with the sealed abstract class and whatnot. Yeah, like see, like this is the thing. Like it does use a config, so it's another config. There's an HTTP client config. What's that stuff? All right. Cool. Okay, so this is what I need. And client, like HTTP client loader here, right? So like this is what I need. Like that. It's interesting. So that I will need the app environment only later. Okay, so we'll need the app environment for the other thing, for the other config. So there are two configs. Find it weird. Does VS Code handle string interpolation language injection for like SQL? You mean metals? Yeah, kind of. I mean, let's see. So like storage Postgres for something like shopping cart. shopping cart. I mean, I don't know if it's like, if it's called like handle, but I mean, that's how it looks like. If that's what you mean. So, like, syntax highlighting wise, kind of. I mean, I don't know. It's all green. Green means good, right? So, right. So let's not over-engineer at this point. So let's just remove this for now, right? And like save the file and go to freaking where was it? Where was it? Here. Okay, and let's say that we don't need that. Okay, but we do need something. So it looks like we're going to need, let's pin that one. Okay, so it looks like we're going to need this guy, right? HTTP client config, which we don't even have yet. Okay, so, well, like this, right? So it looks like at least we're gonna need this one, and this one is I pinned it. That's why it's not there anymore. Okay, so we can just grab it and we can put it into I don't know, here, why not? All right. Make HTTP client is, oh, is that also our thing? Okay. All right, hold on. One of my cats wants to get him. Just a sec. Not much space here. Getting like behind this microphone is kind of weird, but at least I don't have to deal with wires. IntelliJ lets you define the database endpoint and we'll check against the schema is what I'm at. Just a nice feature. But it depends on the driver, right? Like this is like I'm using some like Slick, because this is Skunk, and I don't know if Skunk has this. So in this case, like we don't need like any of that stuff. So all we need is this. So we're just gonna go like this, and we're just gonna call this one config, and this one as well, and this one as well, and now we can remove this. Yep. Found resource of client of F. Okay. So this one isn't pure just so that we can do parmapan over there. So we can just go like that. All right. So now we need to do, oh yeah, we don't even need to do pure because we're going to do this load config thing over here as well. Okay. So load config, actually it's probably don't even need to load anything because like so far anytime we had to deal with the timeouts, it was hard coded. So let's see. config load, and yeah, so I thought it would be like that thing. This payment your Ryan, payment your, this one is like later. So that's why I was like not sure about it. I'll need to think about it. So we're looking for, this is not it, this is not it, this one, yeah. So see, as I suspected, it's just hard coded. Okay, like this. So we can go here and we can do something like, we don't even need to do that. Let's do that. Okay, so we can just do this, and just for like symmetry, we're gonna put like that one into pure. Like this, and so we don't need that one, and so we can just do this, and this is gonna be like config, like that, and we need the duration like that. All right. In fact, like all of this stuff can be like private, that one as well. Well, in this case, we actually don't need the config here again, right? So it's like that. And like that. And, oh, cats, you know, not, she wanted to get out. She wanted to get in, now she wants to get out, obviously. Hold on. Now you always see me getting into this chair, you know, very weird way. All right. So, do we even need a async? So let's see. Okay, we do. It was easy. All right, so let's organize imports. We cannot organize imports because over there we have now this thing. All right, now we should be able to organize imports. And there we go. What? We even need refine. What for? We don't need refined. All right, go away. Okay, so now we have the client. Let me actually see if I'm happy with that. I think I'm gonna move this one out as well. So this one is gonna be like here, and it's gonna be like private def. I don't know, build client. Okay, and it obviously needs the config, which is an HTTP client config, which we can actually also just like call config, and we're gonna be fine. And therefore, if we change around these guys, we can just say like build client. And yeah, unfortunately, it's also gonna need to have this type like this, and it needs async. Okay, so this also means that we need to go like this. Okay. Not even sure if we need that. Yeah, we don't. Ah, weird formatting setting. All right, so let me show me the type, and also let's go here and rename this one to config. There we go. All right, and so now we don't even do this. All right. So, this is so annoying that it needs this type here. This is so, like, this error message is so weird. Okay, I'm gonna open it one more time. Getting better with the chair. Okay, so this time I didn't close it though. So we should be fine. So are we happy about this? Basically. Yeah, basically we're happy. So this is gonna be what? Day 24. Oh my god, 24. Alright. We got the client. Let's see, check out DI. Okay. So we got this, we got that. I'm still not sure about the payment config. We got this client. Like the thing is that usually for these things, like unless it's like in the application lifecycle, you know, so unless it's like yeah, sure. Unless it's like Postgres, Redis, or this client, which by the way I'm going to switch these, right? So unless it's these three, I don't want to have other configs here. But I want this decision to be, come on, let's wait for this thing to finish because it's just gonna bother me. Ta-da. Why do I even have Git installed on Windows? Oh yeah, I have it installed on Windows because otherwise like VS Code complains. These things. It's like this, it just closed. Okay, cool. So, like, I don't want to make like arbitrary decision. So, like, what difference does it make? So the intention is like when you like run it locally, like in some sort of like test kind of thing, like how exactly did he call it? So it was like here, no, so yeah, it's like some sort of test environment. Then we're gonna have try, like otherwise we're gonna have. So this actually means that we're not actually writing tests, we're actually like running it in test mode. So for tests, it doesn't make a difference. But only over complex. So what I'm thinking about is that like usually like my boundary would be able to retrieve the config from the gate. However, the boundary doesn't require it, so it would just like pass it along. So effectively, like what I'm saying is that, so at some point, like check out DI, check out boundary, right? Like at some point it says, you know, like do the actual payment, right? Here, process payment, right? And it gives us like this payment. And what we could also have is, you know, like get the config like this, right? And then we would do, you know, like config.url, something like this, right? Which looks weird. It's like an unnecessary thing that you will always have to like do. Yeah, we're not gonna do this. This is over-engineered. So what I do want to have though is like that thing that loads the, like that thing. I would want it to to also give me that config. And I forgot again how it's called, payment config. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. So this thing is going to give us like a case class, right? Final case class, HTTP client stuff, right? HTTP client resources. Okay, and the first one is going to be like the actual client, and the other one is going to be config, which is like a payment config, like this. So yeah, there's going to be some F. Okay, and the payment config is from, yeah, like this is exactly my issue, right? So it's only required for the checkout. Well, probably it should not be required by the checkout. So we should probably find a payment config. This one, oh, it's a new type, great. Do we have a package for that? Hold on. By the way, guys, don't forget to hit the like button so that more people stumble on the stream. Thank you. So, do we have a package for dev inside you? We don't. Okay, we really don't. I'm actually doing this. All right. Okay, now we do. And so now I can grab this and put it here, and this is going to be inside you, like this. Oh, something didn't copy. What? Oh. There you go. Okay, so now we can throw out this one and check out. All right. Cool. So, yeah, so now, like, what I want to do is that this thing now returns that thing. Okay. I believe that there is some like let's load it first. So we have like build client, and we're also gonna have load payment config. And I actually believe that well, we don't need that. It's basically, well, it's not hard coded. It's based on, hold on, Redis loader, Redis session loader. So we're gonna grab this thing and we're gonna put it here again, like as we had before. And we're also gonna yank around the brands and go here like that. And I believe we just pattern match on it, right? So we go like app environment match, and then like case app environment dot test. I'm gonna do something like this, and otherwise, what is it, like deploy live production prod. Okay, then we're gonna do something else. And what is that thing that we're actually doing? Here, like that. So this is test, and the other one Okay, and so like this whole thing is going to be okay, so this is gonna be like a payment config of payment URI. Open here, close here again. So these can be strings like that, like that, like that, like that. What do you mean? We copied it as well. There you go. Type mismatch. Found string required not. We need to refine auto something. You type it refine auto. Because these are literals, so yeah. All right, so we know how to load the payment config. So we're just gonna map that. So this is client, and we're gonna create like HTTP client resources was the client, and load payment config like this and like that. All right. All right, so found the resource of a client, but okay, so the resource is inside. Okay, so we need to do map twice. So let's do this manually first. Dot map, and now we have like a resource and dot map again, and then like that. Okay, and this thing needs the app environment. Okay, cool. So, I think we can just, why can it not be renamed? Why? Okay, so we're just gonna call this payment config here as well. And this one, maybe we can rename that one. That one is just gonna be called config. And config. All right, so we're doing like map twice. Let's see if we can do, we have async. So we should be able to do like nested over here in the map. And this is gonna be client arrow to the right. So we're not gonna need like these things. And then the end, we're gonna extract it back. Okay, so now the only thing that we need to fix is like this thing because it looks a little bit ugly. So hold on. Let me fix all the errors first because there should be like, right? Okay, here, exactly. So it's gonna be app environment, like that. Okay, and yeah, resources now will have the HTTP client and payment config like this. And so now over here, what's the best way to take it out? Oh, the best way is not to take it out. the best way is to go here and to say that this is going to be HTTP client resources. Well, HTTP client, yeah, resources. And it's going to be like HTTP client resources. Was there an F? There was probably. Like this. And it's inside of here, so we're gonna need to like take it out a little bit like that. Okay. Cool. So it's all like this, it all makes sense. All right, so it all works here. I just want to make like this one like a little bit prettier. I don't know if I'm going to succeed, but we're going to see. I'm just gonna like shove it in for now. It's gonna be an experience. So there's a bunch of helpers and cats. So one is like tuple right. No, not nest. Oh shit. I really don't think that we're gonna make it, that we're gonna be able to make it nicer. Because now that it's nested, then jump in there. Okay. So what I originally wanted to do, and I'm starting to think that it's going to be uglier, right, is like, so instead of nested, you know, we're gonna do this map thing again, right? Like that, you know, and then like inside of here, instead of a map, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do tuple right. No, not tuple right. Yeah, right. And we're gonna say, okay, so it's gonna be a tuple, and on the left we're gonna have the client, and on the right we're gonna have like the payment config with app environment. And by the way, like if you're new here, like I'm always like messing around with code like this just to like see if I can learn something. Most of the time, well, not most of the time, like half of the time it's like a waste of time. But sometimes we stumble on something. Okay. And so now that it's a tuple, we can go and just map it into this thing. Okay. That apply, I guess. I always forget how to do this. Is it unapply? Is it apply tupled? Is it like that? I believe it's like that. Okay, like I don't get it. Like we have like over here we have a tuple, right? And I want to go and, you know, construct this thing. Right. By going like this, right? Like tuple, come on, dot underscore one, tuple dot underscore two. I don't know, like both times I did this D here, like that. What I want to do, like, how is this not HTTP client resources that apply tupled? It's literally the same thing, right? So instead of that, like this should be like function dot tupled HTTP. Oh, maybe it was, I think I know, maybe it was like again HTTP client. It was that weird F, right? Like this. Okay, so now it works. So it didn't work like with the underscore tupled, okay, but it works like, okay. So Now the only problem with that is that we cannot do this nested thing. So we end up with that, and I don't know if it's better. Come on, it totally fits. Like, why would you break it up? Okay. And now I don't know if it's better or worse. I think it's worse. Oh, we can take this map out. All right. And do like dot nested and then value. Okay, is that like that could be better. It obviously performs less well, but who cares? It's just at the instantiation time. Right, so we're building a client, putting the config on the right, putting into a case class. So the only thing that I don't like about it is that if we were to add one thing to this tuple, it would create a much larger diff. So I think we're going to call this over-engineered, and we're going to exercise. Right? I think this is much easier to read. And then we can like add more things to it if we need. I wonder if we can like, I wonder if we can put build client inside. Like that part is still like the conf, like this is the client config, right? So what if we had this inside? Because we're loading two things, and I don't see that we're loading two things. Like this is my issue currently. So let's see. So this thing knows how to get the config. And we can move this one down as well. All right. So now we can just start with build client. So here we're inside of an F now. Okay. So now we're building the client, but then we're doing like this nested map thing, which is weird. I don't want to do this. You guys understand like what I'm trying to do? Because like I clearly want to see that we're loading two independent things here, and I don't see it right now. So what I want to have is something like this. Okay, so let's build a client, whatever, for app. And comma, and let's build, you know, the payment config, which, you know, is just a value. So we're going to lift it into a pure. And now I want to see like map n. I think I need to do like a think I need to do nested and then map n. Something like I wanted to have something like this, but I think there's another, like there's one map missing. Like that. Okay. So map like that. Oh no, so this gives me an F of a resource. This gives me an F. Oh, okay, so I need to do, oh, okay, I get it. One is a resource, the other one is not. This is an issue. So what if I map this one into like resource? What is it called? Eval? Eval. Oh, okay, it needs the F of A. So like this resource dot eval. Oops. Resource dot eval. Like that. Okay, that thing also needs to be in pure. So now this is an F of a resource, and that thing is an F of a resource. And now okay. So now if I do map n, I have two resources. And I need to do, well, no, it's two resources. So I need to have them as a tuple. So now it's a tuple. And on the tuple, I can do map n and like that thing. Found F of a resource of, okay. That apply? F, oops. I feel like we're doing exactly the same thing in the, like when we're constructing the resources thing. Par tuple map, par map n, exactly. All right, so except for the fact that it's ugly, now I actually see that we're loading two things. So let's say we wanted to go with this design, and then I would like put like this whole thing into here. Alright, so this would be like a curly brace. This would be a curly brace. I'm gonna delete everything inside. Gonna put like all of that inside. And I'm gonna do that. The pure needs to be here. Okay, yeah, okay, we lost the F. That's correct. This is also correct. Come on. Oh. No, that's not true. Okay. This is also correct. It needs to be environment. I messed something up again. Arrow. But it is here. Did I lose the F? This is not an F. We lost one of the pures. There we go. So let's see, maybe this way we can remove that. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so like payment config got like way more complicated, but at least now here I see, okay, I'm just loading, which is why it makes sense that if I go here, I see, oh yeah, it's like there are two things in there. So the only problem is like this thing is now ugly as hell. It's not any, come on. Okay, this is an F of a resource of F and the payment config. Okay. So maybe there's something inside of the resource that can work with an A instead of an F of A. Okay, there's a pure. Great. So there's a pure, which means I don't need to do that. Okay, so the only last thing is that one. So I think if we, oops. So if we go to this one and go like this. Oh my God, why? I don't like how formatting is set up for this project, okay? So over here we say .pure, maybe we should just do this at the top. But then we might need to specify the F. Okay, let's see. Oops. All right. So let's see if we can do a pure here. Nice. And so we don't even need the applicative over here. Okay. We need the F. Wait, what? So let's see. Okay, so which of the freaking Fs we need now? Do we need now? All right, we need this F. Okay. So the only last thing that I'm gonna try to do is we're gonna try to use the pipe over here. Okay, but I'm already happy with this one. Like this. Okay, so I'm gonna start with that one. taking this, piping it into payment config, and piping that into resource pure. Okay, that apply. So this is a tiny secret about the app and about the match. You can use a pipe over here and everything is going to compile. But I believe that we're not going to get the match exhaustiveness errors, right? So if we do this, we see match may not be exhaustive. But if we do pipe, I believe we don't. Okay. Oh, we still do. Oh, nice. Problem solved. Okay. So therefore, like this type, and now this can be a pipe into payment URI.apply, and problem solved. I understand why it does it somewhere along the lines, but why here? Oh, it's the refined types. God damn it. Okay, we can help. We can go here and say that this is a non-empty string, which is in there. Come on. Oh yeah, now we need the apply. All right. All right. So except for the fact that I don't like specifying types, that's fine. It reads like there's a lot of like extra machinery stuff, but it reads nice. You know, we're taking the app environment, figuring out, you know, which URL it is. We're helping out a little bit with the types, so that the auto refinement kicks in into non-empty string, and putting them into the payment URI, then into the payment config, then into the resource. Problem solved. And maybe at this point we could also do pure here and, you know, return that thing. And now we're not gonna need like this pure, and therefore we're not gonna need this step. Come on. Okay, this thing doesn't compile because we need to return the applicative. And why me? Okay, so this is like this issue of variant types. F of man, this is annoying. I didn't have the time, but this weekend I wanted to work on a video about like Zio versus Tackless Final because a bunch of people are asking me, and like this is precisely like the argument that I'm going to make, like why this whole like, because I have a lot of experience with Scala, so like everything that was just happening now like was clear to me. But like for a beginner, this is just pure torture. Okay, so I prefer to revert like until here. All right, so we spent a lot of time. Let's shove it in. But I believe we actually have everything, right? So check out the eye. have that, we have that, we have that, we have that, we have that. We just need the retry policy. And about this one, I'm sure. Retry policy is just going to be by the way, technically we just like shove this thing into a resource, but it's not a resource. But it has something to do with the HTTP client, so I was like, maybe it belongs there. By the way, don't forget to hit the like button so that more people stumble on the stream. I can never trust this thing. Like sometimes it says 0, but there's a bunch of you watching. Can you write a comment like saying that you know that you're still here? Just so that I can prove this theory. All right, so we just need to create the retry policy. And it is being, well, I can just search for retry policy. Yeah, exactly. Hi, Anton. That's exactly like what I thought, right? Because like this thing says 0, but you know, you're clearly here and I'm sure a couple of other people are here. Okay, so this is it. Okay, so it's gonna need like these two things, positive and blah, blah, blah. Okay, so it's gonna be like a similar thing. I guess we're gonna call it like load retry policy or something. Okay. So again, like the point, like that thing that we just finished, what did I call it? Client load or something, right? Right, like this is not a resource, okay? In the end, like this thing is used here where we're assembling like the resources of the application, right? It's called resources loader, you know, but we don't need to be pedantic, right? So this thing now loads like, it is not a resource, okay? But meh. Okay, so this client loader is now going to be copy pasted. Okay, and this one is going to be retry loader. Okay, so it's going to be like retry loader, and probably, yeah, it's going to load its own config. And yeah, whatever. For now, it's just going to be a retry load. Okay, all of this goes bye-bye, and like that. Or maybe an F of retry. I think I recently decided like to wrap everything so that I don't have to like mess around with it like in the like main dependency injection point, so that I'm like, oh, this one needs to be pure, this one doesn't need to be pure. So I'd rather like figure it out like everything here so that everything is inside of an F, and then I can just stick it on all into a full comprehension and be done with it. So we just found it, right? I should have like pinned it. Here. Okay, limit retries. This is what this is in retry. Okay, so we're just gonna copy this, go back to that thing, and so okay, so we need to import retry just so that like that thing compiles. We need some sort of config, and this is just combine, right? I don't like, well, actually we could just do, yeah, combines. Okay, so we need the config, which is okay. Here, that thing. right here. Okay, so it's gonna be here, final case class. Okay, positive integer. I really don't know why it does it like this. I don't know how it loads it, so for now let's just go with like val config. Well, let's just call this one config and config. I want like this part to compile first, like that. Come on, just leave me alone. Okay, so if we go config. Okay. So that thing, I thought it. Do we not have retry here? We do, this thing compile. I thought we just checked this thing. Hold on. It was here. And that thing was inside our retry. Our retry policies. Okay. There we go. That's probably because of the F, right? Exactly. Yeah, it's fine for now. This is another one of those things, right? Like either like this, okay, that doesn't help, so we need to like freaking widen this thing or that thing. What the hell? Hold on. This annoys me so much. Okay, so it says like, I found a retry policy, but I wanted a retry. I kind of assumed for a second that retry policy extends retry, but it doesn't. Hold on, like limit retries gives what? Gives that, which is okay. So let's go and do this because maybe it's not combined. Maybe it's like this. Yeah, so it was combined. Was there something else? Oh no, it is a retry policy. So what is he doing with it? Let's go into the checkout. It is a retry. Oh, so it's my bad. It's all my bad. So this needs to stay as a retry policy. Like this. Okay. All right. So put it back into an F and do it pure. Let's leave these ones over there for now. I'm also not sure if we need this and that. Okay. And so like here, like again, like I don't see that there's like two things. So I would actually, well, it's gonna work. Oh, hey man, what's happened to me? So yeah, like over here, I would also want to see that both of them are being created, right? I might need to stick them into a list, right? So that I can do reduce left, combine like this. Right, so now I clearly see, okay, there's like two things are happening here. Let's see how is loaded. So it's checkout config. Okay, hard coded, perfect. Perfect. How was it called? Retry loader. So by the way, I guess it's a retry policy loader now. You know, like that. All right. It's just called. Okay. It just like what's this whole thing? Like, why are we if we can just like go and stick it over here, you know? So we can just go. It says that I lost connection for a bit. Interesting. So yeah, my point was like, why like do this whole thing? You know, we can just go over here and just go 3 and go over here and go like 10 milliseconds. Now we don't even need to do any of that stuff. Okay. Oh, like that. And like that. And what happened here? I didn't even know you could do this. Look, I mean, technically, yeah, you can, because you can name it like however you want, right? You can call it like A, right? But it's hilarious. Do we even need a sync? Okay, so we just need applicative from cats. Okay, all right. Okay, so I guess like this is the retry policy loader. Policy. Retry policy loader. All right. So now we have everything. So now let's go into program. We actually don't have everything. We don't have like this background thing. Right. Because like in checkout DI, not here. We have this, we have that, we have. Oh, interesting. Okay, so we have that and we have that. We have that. We don't have the background. So the background needs to be done implicitly. So it's like this part. The thing is that we already have a package object. Ah, whatever. We'll figure out where to stick it to make it nice. All right. So here we have the resources. So inside of the resources, we have like that thing. Inside of that thing, we have our client, we have our client. So like the thing is that, like for now, I'm going to stick it here, but it's not going to compile, right? So it's going to be like checkout, DI, make, and it needs like Postgres, it needs Redis. Now it also needs HTTP client, client resources dot client, HTTP client resources dot config, and Okay, so then it needs the boundary, which is going to be null for now, and then it needs the authentication, middleware, and the policy. Okay, so this is going to be like the shit. How's it called? I want to use a name parameter. Shopping cart boundary. Shopping cart boundary, which is going to be null, and it needs the users authentication middleware, and it also needs the retry policy. Retry policy, we're not loading it anywhere. So I'm just gonna be like retry policy like this. Okay, so we kind of need it. Retry policy. It's gonna be retry. I think it was just like this, right? It's just a retry of F. Yeah. So 7 this one retry policy. Not policy T. Policy. Here. Okay. So we need the retry policy, which means we kind of need to drag it along over here. Like this. Because of this, we need to carry this function like that. So that we can go like this. Retry policy. See, this is exactly why I didn't want to do this refactoring before we have everything, because it changes everything then. For now, let's just go like this. No, we already have that. So over here we need retry policy. Loader. Load. Map. We're gonna clean this up later. Policy, and we'll give it like the resources and policy. What was the policy? Can you talk a bit about Actimodo? Yeah, and give me just a second. Right, okay, this is my bad. We'll try policy. Same thing here. Okay, I can just grab this one. Really everywhere. I think it's that thing over here that needs to happen here, and now we kind of don't need it there. We do. All right. So now the only thing that is missing is this like background thing, right? And now it also wants to try here. Okay. retry here, and therefore retry here. And therefore retry here. All right, so now it should only complain about the background, exactly. So where should we create it? Probably at the top as well. So let's go like the same way here. Background and here as well. And over here we're gonna create it. Okay, so background is gonna be like that thing. Delete, paste, delete that. Hold on, I'm dying to remove this one. Delete that one and paste over here as well. Okay. All right. Why not? Because the supervisor is over there. Man, see, like this is exactly why I didn't want to do this before I finished the whole refactoring. So let's put them like here. Like that. And now we need to remove that one. And everything compiles and okay, let's move these ones up here. Does the main compile? No, not this one, our main. It doesn't. Because it doesn't know how to get the retry. So there's this one here. It's for logo and temporal. Why don't we see? Oh, because okay, yeah. We just don't need it here. And here. Really? Do we need to do like shit like this? Like, why isn't this beginning? Like, we have a logger and we have temporal. Maybe. Can we do this? I gotta get it. So now we have both, right? We have logger, we have temporal, so we should be able to see this one. Maybe we're importing the wrong one. It should work like this, right? Do we need to call it? Whatever, we're gonna fix it later. I'm not sure what DFT is. And welcome back. So AK, you wanted me to talk about the actor model in Akka. Like, what exactly do you, what exactly, you know, can you elaborate? Like, do you know what actors are? Do you know what, I mean, what do you want? Density functional theory. Never heard of it. Like, you clearly know way more about math than me. So don't come here with your fancy words. By the way, I don't think they will need this one. Because we can just go. Oh, we can just go. Let's go this one. We don't even need that. We can just go like implicit lazy val background, which is a background of F. Like this. This is just like temporal. That's true. Alright, I'm too lazy to figure out why it doesn't work, so I'm just gonna call it. So I'm just gonna go like, okay. This is lazy value try, which is a try of F. Right, first of all, let's just go like this, right? Okay. So now I should be able to go like retry dot and call this thing follow the temporal. Cannot find evidence of. Oh, it's dev inside your logger. Oh. That explains a lot. That's how it stayed here. Okay. Okay. Sure, we can create it here. That's not a big deal. I think what we need to do is let me quick. I think we should not require it here. Because the thing with my logger is that like I like to have the component name in there. And therefore, yeah, so we're gonna have the retry policy, but we're not gonna demand the retry, because over here what we're going to do is you want attention? You want attention? The internet loves cats. Say hello. So, for those of you who don't know, this is Maggie, the best cat in the world, because I can hold her like a teddy bear, like this, and she just stays. Time to stop and have a cup of coffee, or stop, rethink what you're doing, and think outside of a different box with recurse. Yeah. I'm actually not that into coffee. Like, look at this cat. Like, this is literally the best cat in the world. It's hypnotized. You gonna sleep like this? Like, the whole stream is just gonna be like one frame. Okay, go. Maybe she wants to stay. Like, she sometimes like sits on my lap. Let's see if we can. Yeah. Come down. Yes. I'm just moving a little bit. Okay. We'll see. Like, if she wants to stay, she'll stay. Okay, she doesn't want to stay. She went away. Yeah. All right. Let's finish this thing. So, all we need to do over here is we need to say oh, we already have it. Okay, so we want to have this thing over here. Okay, and we're gonna map it into implicitly logger. Well, implicit and well, actually this is like no, this is okay, so this doesn't need to be explicit. So this is has logger. Sorry guys. Yeah, this is has logger. Oh, it's not even an F. Okay. It's just a has logger. So we need both. We need like has logger, and we need the implicit val logger, which is has logger dot. Okay, so this thing is now has logger, and I believe this is it. Something is still wrong. Oh yeah, because now that we have a logger, no. We just need to request temporal. Exactly. Right, So now like the dev inside your logger is visible and therefore it's gonna work. Okay. And like the reason for this whole thing is that I really wanted that like if something wrong happens with this retry, I'm going to see that it happened like within the checkout component. Very important. Okay. Okay, it seems like we don't need that. Nice. Okay, so the checkout DI got like a little bit complicated towards the end. Should we put in the full comprehension? Like that's gonna be pure. That's gonna need this weird implicit zero thing. The full comprehension is not gonna change anything, so we're gonna keep it like this. Okay, so this means that everything compiles. Okay, so there's only one where, which is like here, but we're going to refactor this thing anyway. Okay, so oh, by the way, AK, you didn't tell me what you want to know about actors. So let's like shove it in. Damn it, it's been almost 2 hours. So now the only thing over here is that we need this boundary. We need to get the boundary out and then we're done. Modulo a couple of refactorings, but we're gonna do the refactorings like the next time. We have a lot of stuff to refactor. But we did a good job, like we're pretty much done. So this is the shopping cart boundary, which comes like from here. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to go over here and we have committed, right? So we need to come over here and we need to make sure that we're also returning the boundary. Okay, so this is going to be an F of controller like and the boundary. Okay, so it's a tuple. We're not gonna create a case class. Okay, so controller and the boundary. So this means that like this thing is now outside somewhere, like here. It's gonna be like a private lazy boundary, like this. And so it's like, you know, over here, boundary and the authentication middleware. Okay, like this, okay. And we also need, so it's a tuple, right? So it's like this, like that, and I think over here we can do this like this tuple right thing, tuple right boundary. Okay. So yeah, unfortunately we need to like, shit. Okay, so it's not going to be a private lazy val, it's just going to be inside, because I really need to make sure, like, I don't want to create it twice. Okay, so it's not going to be private, it's just going to be like a lazy val. Okay, technically it doesn't even need to be lazy. What? So make is here, this is here. Okay, we need like one more. Okay, like that. Okay, so it doesn't even need to be a lazy val, it's just like a boundary. Okay. Maybe we can even work with a pipe. Yeah. Scala util chain. Okay, so we're gonna like pipe, and this is gonna be the boundary, arrow to the right, and we can just remove this like that. All right. So we're creating the boundary and we're using it twice, right? So obviously to create the controller, but also like to put it on the right side. And maybe we shouldn't do like this weird thing. Let's just put it here, you know, like this, comma boundary. Can also go like this, right? It's only gonna be 2, so let's go with this. All right. By the way, if you've seen my video that came out yesterday, actually, we're gonna do this like invisible gate pattern, and so like this line and this line will go away. So like in the end, it's gonna look like this. Right. All right. So now we have this thing, and now like there's a tiny problem here, right? Line 24 through line 27. Okay, so where we just came from. You probably mean like this part, right? So line 11. You mean in this file, right? In the DI file. Like, I'm not gonna move anything now, so you can give me the lines that you're worried about. Not worried about, but like the questions that you have. At line 14, there is HTTP. Thank you. Where's HTTP? I don't see the HTTP part. So line 14. So we're just creating an object here, right? Like I feel like. I mean, this is probably like the most obvious part, right? So this is an object. So in Scala, it's sort of like I don't know your background, right? But it's basically like a singleton thing. If you're coming from the Java world, it's probably it's sort of like a static stuff. So we just put them in objects. But I have a feeling that this is not what you're asking about. So this is 14. Probably this one, no? 19, no? Let me just explain like this whole thing, okay? So that we don't have to like mess around like this. So this is a single object. It has like a you can say that this is a static method called make, right? 11. What? There's an import here. It's just how can it be 11? Let me do this. Hold on. All right. So how can it be 11? Like these are the lines here, line numbers. I don't get it. Let me just explain this whole thing, okay? So this is a singleton object. It has a static method called make. It has some type parameter that is going to have a hole. So typically this is going to be something like a future or a list or an option, but typically it's going to be the IO type, which is going to have the IO monad. And we need a couple of things on it, like async and non-empty parallel. They're being passed around implicitly and they're used implicitly as well. We need these three. Postgres Redis authentication middleware so that we can like pass them around, like one is over here, one is over here, another one is over here. Right? We are creating a boundary. this is like a helper method in the standard library that you just give it a function, and then all it does, it applies the function on the thing that you're calling it, right? So we're calling on the boundary, therefore it's going to be a function that's going to take the boundary, okay? And this function is going to be called with the boundary, right? Because like, right? So we give it a function that wants a boundary, and so we're going to give it a function that, you know, takes the boundary, takes itself. And so over here, we're using this boundary to create a tuple. On the left, we're going to have the controller. On the right, we're going to have the actual boundary. And then we're also wrapping it into a pure so that we can construct an f of a tuple, right? All right, so now like this thing like gives us this tuple, but we're not like inside of a full comprehension or anything like this, okay? So what we need to do is we need to like take it out. Whoops. We need to like, whoops, okay. So we need to take it out and put it like somewhere here. All right, no worries. So we would want to put it over here, but over here we still don't have the stuff that we need, right? Like we have Postgres and Redis, but we don't have this middleware. It's sort of like we're turning around like in circles, okay? So this means that it needs to be over here, right? And because it returned an F, right? So we're gonna need like to do this flat map, right? And then we're gonna have like case shopping cart boundary, no, the shopping cart controller and the shopping cart boundary, okay? We're gonna close the for comprehension. Where are we going to close it? Maybe over here. Okay. This means that okay. So in this case, it's just gonna be like a map, right? Hold on, it's the wrong place. It needs to be like here. Like that. Okay. So now, like, we're still constructing a bunch of things here. So the shopping cart is like here, right? So we need to like take it again, shopping cart controller, and we need to like put it back like into the app, like as if we have it, right? And over here, we can finally use the boundary. And I believe that shopping cart boundary, unless there's a typo, I believe this is how it should be. Half of list of app. Okay, so it was flat map to begin with, right? That was match. Found a list of F control required an F of something. Let me see. Okay. Okay, it's basically like this, but essentially, like, remember this part where I was like, okay, like the names over here, like in this thing, they're like completely arbitrary, blah, blah, blah. Well, now they're actually necessary. So now it would be better to actually go back and like refactor this thing. But you know, like everything everywhere compiles. We can remove like this thing for now. Like there's a bunch of stuff like to, you know, to clean stuff up and whatever, but for today we're good. Now look at this, exactly 2 hours. So we're going to clean it up next time. Probably we'll go into rewrite this whole thing into full comprehension. Maybe let's do this like real quick. Like, shit, we're not gonna be able to deconstruct this thing. So this is gonna be a problem, right? So if I take this, I put this into a 4, right? Like that thing. I'm gonna say, okay, well, for that thing, I kind of do need the name. right? And I put like these things like over here, right? Then we don't need the flat map, we don't need the case. Like this whole thing is now inside of a yield like this. But I believe this plugin that we have to rewrite the full comprehensions differently is not going to allow us to deconstruct this tuple like this. This is true, so this thing needs to be inside. Like that. So like this is like the result. And we're gonna need the result. Okay, it did allow us to do this. Oh, come on. Why does it insist on doing it like this? I prefer to have it here. Okay, whatever. So the result is the HTTP. Right? So okay, so like this like allows us to easily like move things out, right? So let's say that like from this one we'll need like a similar thing, right? We'll be able to like easily move it out, you know, put it there, right? So we'll like put it here, and it's gonna be like an arrow to the right, and I'm gonna say, okay, like this is what item admin controller and like item admin boundary, right? So it's gonna be like a similar thing, like probably like right, and then we'll need to like put it back over here, like item admin controller, and like the boundary will be able to use somewhere else, right? So essentially, like this whole thing, like full. When we need to like take things out, we're gonna take it. Okay, like this. And it would be like even better if like that thing would like fit into one thing. Maybe we can make it fit into one thing by going over here and going like HTTP client resources of that. Source. Okay. Then oh look, we can actually like keep going like this. Oh, we can't because this tab is like very low. Fine, let's leave it like this. So we're gonna like take it apart here. Okay. And so now over here we'll just go like this. And we also don't need that, right? So it's like this, and maybe it's gonna fit. All right. Anyway, like this is done now, right? Let's just like out of curiosity, you know, kill this thing. I just want to see like what we're dealing with. It's so unfortunate that I couldn't demonstrate that it actually compiles faster because there's not that much that that is inside of these boxes, right? So right, like look, like there are like 64 files in the core, and we're going to split the core in probably the next string. And so we can't compile anything in parallel until like this huge core finishes compiling, which is going to take like 20 seconds, I think. And also we have like way too many files in the delivery, like 30, I believe 20. See, now like everything compiles in parallel, but like the delivery is so big. You know, see those 29 files over there? So we're also gonna wait for those 29 files. So we have like two like these big choke points. And I already have ideas of like how to split them up. 45 seconds. Unused import, really? Hold up. Oh yeah, NDI. Yeah. Client. I'm in the wrong thing. I'm always trying to do like Monday, Wednesday, Friday. In fact, like I will stop streaming for a while after we finish this project, but I think there's still like at least like this week to go. I'll start streaming again after a while though, but like I just need a break after this project. Okay, but I'll be back, so don't worry. This one here. Okay, let's just like remove it real quick. And also like I'm finishing up here. Okay, I just wanted to see. Okay, so hold on, main compile to compile this one file. The other thing like compiles like in like half the time, right? So the whole thing fits into 66 files versus ours like 100. And so like this whole thing compiles and like it's gonna finish in 20 seconds. Yeah, 26. Okay. So in fact, we increased the compilation time. But you know, I still have like, so we're gonna split the core. So like this is gonna compile in parallel, and we're also gonna have like into this like JSON util thing that doesn't contain any files, so you don't even see it here. We're going to move a couple of these like delivery files in there, and so maybe it's gonna help a little bit. In any case, so we're pretty much done for today. Let's kill this one. Let's push. Oh, hold on, we have some laying around. Yeah. So, ta-da, I'm gonna push it. So we have, oh shit, okay. There you go. Oh yeah, that didn't happen. All right. So we're like what, 24? Okay, so 23. Took a while. When did we start? 10 weeks ago. Wow. And this is already like the second one. Jesus. So it took us like 3 months. All right, guys. So usually at the end, we're just gonna go to this scene. And if you have any questions, also don't forget to hit the like button so that more people stumble on the stream, even though it's pretty much finishing. I'm gonna see if we can raid somebody, but I don't think we can. Can't. So yeah, I'm gonna hang out for like 2 more minutes, or a minute or so, probably less than 2 minutes. Can check my phone. If you don't have any questions, I'm gonna go. Yeah, thanks, man. All right, so yeah, see you probably on Wednesday. I have a feeling that I'm gonna have a very busy week, so maybe on Friday. But yeah, I'll try to be here. All right, and then eventually, once I start like streaming again, which should be like in a month or so, or like maybe two. I think I'll change my schedule a little bit to do like Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, because then on Saturday I can like stream earlier, and then people like in Europe can catch it. All right. Yeah. See you guys on Wednesday. Cheers.